Well, it is still Chap Goh Mei, the last day of the Chinese New Year holidays and Chinese Valentine's Day. And I had a pretty great morning here in Chinatown. Had a good time, a really good experience at the temple, and then I stumbled across that amazing lion dance and firecrackers display. That was very cool. My plan was then, well, my original plan was to go to KLCC for a lion dance at 5:30. I don't really feel like I have to go see that lion dance now since I saw such a great one earlier, but I'm going to go to KLCC anyway. I might just enjoy the lion dance without shooting any video and walk through the mall, see the Petronas Towers. But I'd really like to see the ritual with the women and the oranges for Chap Goh Mei. And I know there's a pond, a series of ponds in the park, the KLCC park, and maybe they do that there. In any event, it'll be an interesting place to go to end my last day of the Chinese New Year holidays. To get there is pretty easy from this point. I just have to take the LRT line here at Pasar-Seni, 5 or 6 stops to KLCC. So back into the LRT I go. Even if I don't see a lion dance, at the very least I'll get to see the Petronas Towers. And for anyone that doesn't know, the Petronas Towers were the highest buildings, the tallest buildings in the world when they were built. And I think they were the tallest buildings from 1998 all the way until 2004. And today they still hold the record for the tallest twin towers in the world. That's pretty impressive. And this is the Kelana Jaya line heading to Gombak. Here's the map of the system. We're here right now at Pasar-Seni, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 stops to KLCC. Check it out, we have an event schedule. Except it doesn't go until February 19th, it only goes up to February 17th. I wonder if the 19th is on the other side. Nope. According to this schedule, nothing is happening on February 19th, which is the day that I'm here. We'll see if that turns out to be true or not. There is no lion dance, perhaps. We'll find out. If that's true, that'd be pretty typical for my kind of experience. Well, one thing about KLCC, I don't come here very often. Again, it's another fashion mall, a high-end mall. Doesn't have a lot of stuff that I need, but it's also a really confusing mall. I never quite know how to find my way around. So I'm gonna go outside and try and get my bearings first. And I found an exit. I don't know where the exit takes me. That's one good thing when you're looking for some of the tallest buildings in the world. You just have to step outside and there they are. Let's see, whoa, we're gonna get run over by a taxi. The danger of looking at a camera. I don't know a lot about the Petronas Towers. I don't remember the height of the whole building offhand, but I know there are 88 floors, both towers, and they have a bridge in the middle connecting the two towers. And an interesting thing about this bridge is that it's not connected to either tower, because the towers swing in the wind and they need to be able to sway back and forth. So if the bridge was connected to them, they could move. So in fact, as the towers sway in the wind, the bridge moves in and out of each tower, and that keeps the whole thing stable. And the towers are also largely made of like super high strength concrete. And I think that's because at the time of their construction, importing high quality steel is quite expensive. So they decided to go with concrete. And that meant that the buildings are quite heavy, and the combination of its weight and the type of land it's sitting on meant they had to have very deep foundations. And I think the piles that they drove into the ground are some of the deepest foundations in the world for buildings like this. At the Suria KLCC mall complex. And for those wondering, KLCC stands for Kuala Lumpur City Centre. And as I said, it's another one of these fancy malls. I seem to have spent a lot of time recently in shopping malls. But I want to go outside to look at the towers while it's still light out. And the only way I know how to get to the park on the other side of the towers is to go through the mall. I remember trying to go around it once before, and I couldn't find my way. So we're cutting through the mall. This is the central courtyard of Suria KLCC Mall. I thought the lion dance might be taking place here, and it still might, but there's nothing set up yet. To be honest, I have no idea where the lion dance might take place. I thought it would be obvious when I got here, but so far it's not obvious. I think I found the exit for the park. I was completely wrong about that. This isn't the park at the back. This is the main entrance into the Petronas Towers. That's where you go if you want to go up in the elevator up to the lookout points. But since I'm here, I thought I'd head out in this direction, get a certain distance on the towers, and take a look at them from the front. The setting here is pretty incredible. Just pan around and look at all these buildings. There's like 4 of them right there. 4 skyscrapers under construction, even semi-twin towers with a bridge connecting them. And we're not at a good viewpoint yet, but there they are, the Petronas Twin Towers. That bridge connecting them, by the way, weighs 750 tons. I don't know exactly how much that is, but it sounds pretty darn heavy. A couple other facts that I know about the towers. They were really quite an international project. Of course, you had the Malaysian side, but the architect was from Argentina, a man named Cesar Pelli. And the government wanted them built quite quickly, so they actually hired 2 massive international consortiums to build the towers separately. one consortium based in Japan built one of the towers, I'm not sure which one, and a consortium based in Korea took over construction of the other tower, and they worked simultaneously on the two of them. So it's basically two companies, two construction companies working at the same time. I've been here a couple other times, and on each visit there were hordes of these guys everywhere selling these really cheap sets of wide-angle lenses that you can stick onto your smartphone. And they did a huge business because nobody could get the whole building into their smartphone's camera viewfinder. So everybody bought these wide-angle adapters just so they could get the building into frame. I don't see them here right now, though. I don't see anybody selling these wide-angle gadgets. These are all the photographers. I remember last time I was here, I was thinking that this had to be among, if not the most photographed building in the world. If you go on the internet, there'd be millions of pictures of them, so it's kind of silly to take more. There's already enough of them. It's funny, you can't really walk anywhere here because everywhere you go, you end up standing in someone's shot. It's like a photographic paradise here. And there they are. I remember back in 2009, that French free climber, what's his name? Alain Robert, I think. They call him the Spider or Spider-Man. He climbed up one of these towers all the way to the top without any equipment, without any ropes or safety gear. And it was completely illegal, of course. He made it to the top, but that was his third attempt. He tried 2 other times and he was arrested both times before he got to the top. But in 2009, yeah, he made it all the way up there. We're being artistic. I didn't even realize it. You have the reflection of the towers in the water. Turns out the guys are still here. This guy here, he's selling the wide-angle gadgets you put on your smartphone. I saw another one up here, and they're both they both have like official ID or something around their necks, just to make it seem more official. Whatever you think of tall buildings as a tourist attraction or something to go see, you might think it's not so important. But I tell you, when you are standing here right underneath these 2 towers, you can't help but be impressed. It's an astonishing sight looming over top of you like that. And this KLCC complex is also home to the Malaysian Philharmonic Orchestra. And it's something I really want to do while I'm here. And I looked into their schedule before, but a lot of their shows were sold out. And the ones that weren't were extremely expensive. I might check again on their schedule to see if I can come here. But I think it is out of my price range. This is the lobby entrance to the Philharmonic. So far, it's not looking good for a lion dance. I can't find any information about it. I found one concierge desk, but it was closed, no staff. And there was a sign saying, go to the other concierge desk, but I haven't been able to find it yet. And I don't see anything set up for any kind of performance, no performance area. I found a concierge desk. So let's see what he has to say.
Okay, bye. Yeah. It's a 5 o'clock, sir. It's already started now in the park on your right.
So in the park?
Yeah.
So this way?
On your right.
On the right. Okay, thank you very much. So at the information desk, he said that it is happening today, and it's in the park on my right, and he kind of pointed in this direction, which made it sound very simple, but we'll see how simple it is. I still haven't been able to find the exit that leads to the park. But I get lost in shopping malls all the time. I think they designed them deliberately that way so that you really can't find your way, and that keeps you in the mall longer, increasing the chance that you'll spend money while you're here. Park. I don't see any exit to the park yet, but he did say something about going to the right, so I will go to the right. I hear some drumming. It was supposed to start at 5:30, but the concierge guy, he also told me that it had already started, so I guess they started early. about that? Another lion dance. I'm drowning in good luck and prosperity now for 2019. Yeah, it was quite a near thing because they started early. It was scheduled for 5:30, but it looks like they started at 5 o'clock. So my habit of showing up early for things did me a good thing this time. So I'm in the park now, the KLCC park behind the Petronas Towers. And they're always there, kind of dominating the skyline. There's the entrance to the Suria KLCC mall. They have a nice pond, water fountains here, and I believe at night these are all lit up and they have music playing. I keep intending to come and see that. I never have yet. Maybe I'll stick around tonight until it gets dark and see what happens. For now, I'm going to take a little stroll through the park, I guess, and head towards that bridge and see if it gives me a nice view of the towers. I wonder if they started the lion dance early just as a judgment call to avoid rain. If so, that was a pretty good call because the dance just ended and it's starting to rain right now at 5:30. So had they waited till now, it might have been rained out. A long time ago I was here at night and I went up the elevator in the Traders Hotel. I think it's to the 33rd floor and it might be it way up there. And they have a beautiful bar up there with kind of a swimming pool and you probably get the best views of the Petronas Towers from up there. Down here there's a swimming pool for children. There's nobody in there today. And I thought maybe that these ponds would be full of Mandarin oranges with the names and phone numbers of all the young women of Kuala Lumpur. But either that tradition is not as common as the internet led me to believe, or you have to go to special places to see it. It's about 6:30 now, and I just found out that the light show isn't until about 8 o'clock tonight. So I think I will leave the light and music fountain show for another night. I'm going to head back to the hostel now. There you have it. I'm back at Pasar Seni Station, just a block or two away from my hostel. The end of Chinese New Year holidays for the Year of the Pig. The end of Chap Goh Mei. I never did see anyone throw an orange with their phone number on it into a lake or a pond, but maybe I'll see that next year. But it was still a pretty good day. Here in Chinatown at the Guandi Temple to start the day, that was amazing. And the lion dance that came afterwards with the firecrackers. Good way to start the new year. So I'm going to end the video here, back in my home neighborhood of Kuala Lumpur. And I will see you in the next video. The bonus question for the last video was about the phrase Chap Goh Mei. I asked you, what does Chap Goh Mei mean in English? Answer? As many people pointed out in the comments, Chap Goh Mei is in the Hokkien dialect. Chap means 10, Go means 5, and Mei means night. So Chap Goh Mei refers to the 15th day of the new year. The bonus question for this video is about the Petronas Twin Towers, of course. My question is, how long does it take for the executive elevators to travel all the way from the basement car park to the top of the towers? I'll make it easy for you. Does it take A, 60 seconds, B, 90 seconds, C, 2 minutes, or D, just 20 seconds? Put your answer in the comments below. Answer at the end of the next video.
That was Godzilla or something.
Travel tip 26. Monitor the contents of your smartphones. In the old days, when you went traveling and you went through customs and immigration at the airport, all you really had to worry about were the physical contents of your backpack or your suitcase. But these days, we all travel with a vast amount of digital data on our smartphones. The laws about this are different from country to country, and I'm no expert in this, and to talk about that would get very complicated and take a long time. But in general, in some countries, they have the legal right to open your phone and examine the contents. In other countries, they have to ask for your permission. But in either case, if you refuse, it can lead to a lot of trouble. It can lead to a long interrogation. It could lead to them confiscating your phone. It could lead to them denying you entry into the country. So they can put a lot of pressure on you to unlock your phone or give them the password. This happened to me recently in Indonesia. I was there on a tourist visa, of course, and for whatever reason, the officials weren't convinced that I was a real tourist. So they took me into this little room and they opened up my bags, they searched me, they went through everything in my bags very carefully, and then they asked me to unlock my phone and hand it to them. This was the first time this had happened to me, and I was a little bit confused by this, but they explained to me that, well, if I was a tourist, as I said I was, then there must be tourism type photos on my phone. So if I showed that to them, they would let me go. So in the situation, I unlocked my phone and I handed it to them, and as expected, there were hundreds and hundreds of typical tourist photos on my phone. Pictures of me at the beach, pictures of me posing with historic monuments and buildings, and they were happy to see that, and they let me go. I'm not saying what they did was right or wrong, or I was right or wrong giving them permission to look at the contents of my phone. The point is that this could happen to you, and you might find yourself in the situation where customs and immigration officials are asking to look at the contents of your phone. So you should monitor what is on your phone. Just as you think about the physical contents of your backpack, these days you have to think about what is on your phone. Is there anything on your phone, any photograph of you at any event, that could remotely be suspicious or get you into trouble? If so, remove it from your phone before you travel to another country, especially if you're going to another country where the laws are considerably different from the laws in your home country. As I've said before, it's just better to be safe than sorry.